And we've got a ball game here the on the date of April 30 in our 1968 replay. It is the Washington Senators at the Chicago White Sox in Comiskey Stadium. And it is the first of a two-game series. Pitching for Washington is Joe Coleman. He is 1-1 on the season, right-hander. And pitching for the White Sox, left-hander Gary Peters, and he is 1-1 on the season. The Senators come into this doing fairly well, 8-9, and they are 5 games behind the first place Minnesota Twins. The White Sox 1-12, and they've lost 10 in a row. And of course, they've lost 12 of their first 13 games. They are 10 games behind the first place Minnesota Twins. So it's sure is a novelty to play with this club, given how poorly they're doing. And we'll see if they can get a win. And the White Sox take the field. Attendance for this game, 6,321. And leading it off for the Senators is Del Unser. Okay, Peters is ready. Here's the windup. Pitch to Unser, 3-8 left-handed, grounds it to short, and Aparicio fields it. He fires it to McCraw, 1 away, and we are underway. Now Sam Bowen's getting the start. He's playing right field. I'm sorry I didn't go through the lineups on this game. I always forget something, but we'll go through them as the batters come up to hit. Here's Peters now. Pitch to Bowens, 4-9, his first appearance of the season. That is an in-home run 1-2, double down the line for Bowens. So he came ready to hit. Good morning. And thank you, Joel. It was an epic contest. Nice to see you so bright and early. So Bowens on second with 1 out. And here's Frank Howard. Kathy's rooting for the White Sox. The 1-12 Sox, 2-7 left-handed home run 1. That's a double for Howard. And Bowens scores. And it's 1-0. Now Ken McMullen, the batter. Thanks, Joel. Kathy made it for me as a gift. Pitch to McMullen, 2-6 left-handed, walked him. So Peters struggling here in the first. And Ron Hansen is the batter. And just to let you know, Kathy, I posted on my post board, full size, thank you to Kathy 329 for this wonderful gift. That's a B. And these are baseball players, and that's an early bird. Studio B. Okay, Hansen, first and second, one out, one in already. Here's the pitch from Peters. 1-5, left-handed, struck him out. That's 2 away for Paul Casanova. Okay, Peters is set, and here's the pitch to Casanova. 5-8, right-handed, triple 1-9. It's a double for Casanova. This will score at least a run. Howard comes home. McMullen rounding third. McMullen 1-11. 2 outs, 1-13, 1-14. He's coming home. And here's the throw from Berry. And he is out. And that will retire the side. But 2 runs on 3 doubles and a walk. And the misery continues. Washington 2. White Sox coming up. Here's Joe Coleman now. Luis Aparicio leading it off for the White Sox. The shortstop. Pitch to Aparicio, 1-5, grounds it to third. Fielded by McMullen, and he fires it to Epstein, 1 out. All right. Thanks for listening, Jeremiah. Thanks for tuning in. Here's Bill Voss now. This is his first start and first appearance of the season. He's playing right field. Pitch from Coleman. 1-8, and he lines it to second. Right at Coggins, 2 outs. And the batter is Pete Ward, left-handed hitter. .312, right-handed, hit him. Ward gets hit by a pitch from Coleman. Ward is on, 1-13, not being held, 1-11. Now Tommy Davis, the batter. Ward on first, 2 outs. Pitch to Davis. 1-7, right-handed, base hit, 2 asteroids. Ward rounds second, goes to third. First and third, 2 outs, and Tommy McCraw in a clutch situation. He is also a left-handed hitter. Possible balk or a pass ball. Possible balk, 1-3. Coleman steps off the rubber. Okay, he's set now. Pitch to McCraw, 1-10. Pops it up, foul territory by the catcher, Casanova, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, a hit by pitch, 2 left. And the White Sox losing 2-0. An astonishingly poor start by the White Sox here, hoping to end on an up note on the last day of April, but they're down 2-0. Here's Peters now, facing Mike Epstein. Pitch from Peters, 2-10, left-handed, ballpark slash, 1-7, lines it to second, 1 out. Wow, are you serious? Wow. Joel notes the 1988 Orioles began the season 0-21. That's remarkable. I'm surprised they didn't break any record for the worst record ever. That's almost hard to believe. Here's Frank Coggins now. Switch hitter batting right. Look at his card against left-handers. Will allow him to hit as long as they're winning. But look at that. And he hit against left-handers 32% of the time. That's worse than a pitcher 1 card. Here's the pitch to Coggins. 2-4, and he grounds it to short. Fielded by Aparicio, he throws to McCraw, 2 outs. And now here's Coleman. Joel goes on, then in 1989, the next year, the Orioles contended for the division title all the way to the last weekend of the season. Wow, what a turnaround. Do you happen to know how many games they lost in 88? Just off the top of your head or anything? Of course, I could look it up. 2 outs, nobody on, Coleman at the plate. Here's Peters. 54-108. So they were 54-87 after that 21-game losing streak. 54-87. Still bad. Wow. 54-108. And that's real world? Oh yeah, that's not as bad as the Mets. Not even close. Nathan is here. The almighty Southside Sox, and Coleman the batter. 3-7, grounds it to second for Cullen. And he throws it to McCraw, and it's a 1-2-3, much better by Peters. We move to the bottom of the second. Coleman on the mound, Dwayne Josephson leading it off for Chicago. Joel Horland notes Frank Robinson took over during the '88 losing streak, almost got a pennant the next year. Wow. I knew that Robinson, it shows how much I was paying attention. I was so immersed in my profession at the time, I didn't follow it. I knew his first managerial job was with Cleveland. I had no idea that he managed the O's. Did not know that. Okay, Dwayne Josephson leading it off for the Sox. That's 4-11 right-handed, grounds it to third. And McMullen has it, throws it to Epstein, 1 out. Nathan, I am recovered. Julio is here. Frank Robinson was great. He was leadership skills as a player. And I didn't know he managed the Washington Nationals. May he rest in peace. I'm doing okay, Nathan. It didn't take long. I lied down after a while. I've been binge watching certain shows on TV. I watched Medical Center. I don't know if you remember that show from the early 70s with Chad Everett. It's funny how things always, just about always, work out in that show. But I've been enjoying it. Joel Horland notes that Frank had mixed results as a manager. Okay, here's Ken Berry now. 1 out, nobody on. I go through different stages of binge watching shows. Pitch to Berry. That's 2-4 right-handed. Grounds it to third. Again, McMullen. Over to Epstein, 2 outs. I binge watched The Streets of San Francisco for a while. It's, when I say binge watch, I mean watching it. Good morning, Mike Terranova. Glad to see you. With Tim Cullen stepping in the batter's box. I'll sit and watch a show. Now I sit and watch. I was watching a 2-parter, which was fascinating. Story of a physician who wanted a sex change operation. Now you got to realize this is like 1973 or something like that. Very, very, very unique for the time. And it's a 2-parter, so I watched the first episode and I watched about 3/4 of the second episode. I'll go back to it. It's in my history. 2 outs. It's on YouTube. Cullen at the plate. Kojak. Yeah. Lots of different shows. 6-4 right-handed. Grounds it to short X, our first X. That's Hansen, 333. 14-3 throws him out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Coleman. 2-0 after 2. Boy, that coffee goes quick. The Magician. Oh yeah, I think I remember that show. I also watch, lately I watch late 1950s, early 1960s, To Tell the Truth and What's My Line. And they're all, everyone is dead just about. Paul Anka was a guest on both of those shows. He's still alive. George Hamilton was a guest on one of those shows. I don't remember which, and he's still alive. But other than that, everybody else is gone. It's a different era. You know, that's the thing. It's, as you get older, you realize different eras. I'm gonna go refresh my iced coffee, and I'll be right back. James Daly is a Arlene Francis. James Daly is also on Medical Center, and he was in some Twilight Zones. At least he was in Willoughby. He starred as the actor in, I forgot the name of the episode. I think it was a Stop at Willoughby, something like that. Yeah, and he's the chief medical doctor. Okay, we move to the top of the third. Gary Peters, he allowed 2 in the first on 3 doubles and a walk. Retired the side in order in the second. It'll be the top of the order for Washington. Del Unser leading it off. Here's Peters. Pitch to Unser, 4-9. Left-handed, 1-1 to 4. That's another double. This one by Unser. 4th double of the game for the Senators. Now Sam Bowens is the batter. Bowens hit 191, 4 home runs in 115. The pitch to Bowens. 6'6" right-handed, walked him. First and second with nobody out. And here's Big Frank Howard. Howard doubled and scored. From the stretch, Peters. 2-9, left-handed, single 1-2, grounds it to third A. And that will be Ward to Cullen to McCraw for the double play. Unser goes to third. Good morning, Rick. Glad to see you all out here early, bright and early. Now the Dow is down 333, 362. Okay, it's 2 outs. Unser on third, and here's Ken McMullen. He was thrown out trying to come home on the double by Casanova. He was at first, obviously. Pitch to McMullen. 3-6, left-handed, pops it up to short. And Aparicio makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs for the Senators. Peters got out of it. A double, a walk, and one left. And we head to the bottom of the third. Out comes Coleman to face the White Sox, and Peters will lead it off. I binge watched Room 222 for, I think, several weeks. When I say binge watch, I mean watch maybe 2 or 3 episodes a day, you know. And I really liked that show. I thought that his name escapes me, but the black teacher, the history teacher, was awesome. To me, he was like just the most awesome character. And of course, Karen Valentine is just adorable. Pete Dixon was the name on the show. And yes, I'm trying to remember his real name. And I found out he died in his 50s of cancer, I believe it was. Okay, here's Coleman. 6'3", left-handed, flies it to left X. That's going to be Howard, 413. Uh, 413 Howard, I'm getting distracted by the text. 413, that's a 12-4. It's an E13 roll for Howard. Nine. Oh, he makes the catch. Nice catch by Frank Howard. 1 out. I don't know who Judy Stanges is. Was she the guidance counselor? The black guidance counselor? Very, very attractive. I was a sucker for Karen Valentine. She's still alive. Okay, Aparicio at the plate. Here's Coleman. Oh, she was a student. Okay. And then they had some interesting guest stars sometimes. Like, for example, they had, I can't remember his name now. Oh, so bad with names. Here's the pitch to Aparicio. That's 4-2, right-handed, single 1-3, lines it to short, 2 outs for Bill Voss. Michael Constantine was excellent. 3-9 right-handed, flies it to left, and Howard makes the catch. And you know, if you watch the show, the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 for Coleman, 7 in a row. If you watch that show in particular, but also others, you know, if you don't stop and think about it, you don't realize how good these actors are in the shows. You get just totally immersed in the show, and you realize how good they are acting. Of course, you know, it's not high drama, of course, but within the context of what it's supposed to be, the acting is really good. Really believable. Okay, here's Peters now. Top of the fourth. And Ron Hansen leads it off for Washington. He's going to eventually be traded to the White Sox. When, I do not know, but he's on the Senators now. Here's the pitch from Peters now. 6-8, right-handed, grounds it to second X. Cullen, 330. 13-3. Throws him out, 1 away. Hansen is retired. Oh, it did. Julio. Oh, yeah, it was a great theme. Can't remember it right now off the top of my head. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. It was, you know, I don't want to get on a copyright. Can you believe that if I hum a tune, I get a copyright? Yeah, Rick, I was just mentioning earlier, I binge watched, that was maybe 6 months ago, I was doing those are very good shows. I love Carl Malden in that. I mean, Michael Douglas is great too, but to me, Carl Malden. 1 out, nobody on, Casanova at the plate. Peters throws. That's 3-8, left-handed, pops it up to short for Aparicio, 2 outs. And they're all free. I mean, the ones we're mentioning are, I don't know about Kojak, but the ones we're mentioning are free on YouTube. Here's Mike Epstein, 2 outs, nobody on. He lined to second in the second. Peters gets the sign from Josephson. Pitch to Epstein, 3-8, left-handed, struck him out. And the side is retired, a 1-2-3 for Peters. Now, if only the White Sox can get some hitting together here. They trail 2-0. They are 1-12 on the season. In dead last. Pete Ward leads it off. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. And the pitch, 4-7. Left-handed single 1-2, grounds it to first, and Epstein takes it to the bag, 1 away. Now Tommy Davis singled in the first, left on. Maybe I ought to check that out. 77 Sunset Strip. Pitch to Davis, 3-5, right-handed, single 1-9, and it is a base hit. Second hit for Tommy Davis today. They need to put something together here. White Sox trail 2-0. Tommy McCraw at the plate. Pitch from Coleman. 1-7 right-handed, single 1-13. There's a base hit for McCraw. One asteroid. Going to second is Tommy Davis. They were that bad, Rick? I didn't know that. Looking at the White Sox, just to let people know, they didn't come in last. They came in 8th. 67 and 95. Eddie Stanky was the manager until just before the All-Star break. The Senators came in last. I don't recall. I should know who finished 9th, but I should know that. First and second, one out. I remember the White Sox had a couple good years, you know. I think it was in the 80s or something, when they had Harold Baines. First and second with one out, and Josephson coming up. Peters and Coleman, both very good pitchers indeed, Julio. Here's the pitch to Josephson. 4-8 right-handed, single 1-8, and that's a grounder to first. Taking it is Epstein, throws to second to force McCraw, and Davis goes to third. I also like, you know what I like a lot? I haven't been watching it lately. Dragnet. First and third with 2 outs now. I like both the radio from the 50s and TV from the 60s. And I think it went into the 70s. Very deadpan, you know, Joe Friday. Very deadpan kind of guy. I don't know if that's the word, deadpan. I don't use that word often. Deliberately impassive or expressionless, yeah. Oh, okay. But if any of you haven't checked it out, check out the Dragnet Radio. And it's very good to just lie in bed at night, you know what I mean? Go to sleep and just listen to it. Oh yeah, he was an executive producer, is that right? Or producer? Here's the pitch to Berry now. Clutch situation, 3-5, and that is a clutch reversal. Leave it to the White Sox. He pops it up to short, and Hansen makes the catch. How do you like that? A 3-5 clutch reversal, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left on. When you're doing bads, really all of it comes out sometimes. That's 2-0 Senators. I haven't watched Naked City. I also put on occasionally. I'll put on an old movie. You know, if you go NOIR, noir uh, movies, there's a ton of them. Some of them I have trouble getting into. You know, but every once in a while. Okay, Peters. His first endurance inning is the seventh. He'll face Coggins to lead it off. Look at that. Against left-handers, look at him. Pitch from Peters, 4-3 right-handed, flies it to right X. That's for Voss, 211. 10-2, it's going to be an E11 roll. This could be an error for Frank Coggins. 9. Oh, he makes the catch. A nice running catch by Voss. That's one away. Now here's Joel Coleman. DOA, I'll try to remember that. There was one movie I saw and I stayed with it. It's just my patience is sometimes thin, you know, of a woman who got involved with a shady character and he got her pregnant and he went to jail and she went to a place where women give their babies up for adoption and they live there until they have the baby, and she changed her mind at the end. And it was a very, very intense film. Here's Coleman now at the plate. Pitch from Peters, 1-9, struck him out. 2 away. And now Del Unser. 4-4 left-handed, grounds to short X. Aparicio, 221. 19-2, throws him out. And a 1-2-3 inning for Peters. And he has retired 8 in order. Coleman, though, shutting out these White Sox. Cullen will lead it off. One 7 struck him out. First strikeout for Coleman. And here comes Peters. He's a 7 NL. 6-11, left-handed, flies to right X. Bowens, 215. 8-2, it's an E15 roll. Bowens may have trouble with this. I think he will. 11, and it's a 2-base error by Sam Bowens, out in right. It seemed like a fairly routine fly ball, and he dropped it. So a 2-base error. Peters in scoring position with 1 out. And here's Aparicio, 0 for 2. The pitch from Coleman. 6-5 right-handed, grounded to short X. Hansen, 333. 17-3. Grounds it to short Hansen. That's a B. With a runner on second, B6, short, he holds. He throws to first to get Aparicio, and Peters holds at second. You like Rear Window, a Hitchcock film. I'll try to remember that also. I have trouble with films, though, sometimes, you know, with my patience, where the TV shows, even if they're an hour long, are very densely, very, very, there isn't a lot of ambiance, meaning, you know, faster paced. That's what I might add. Good for my, I'm incurably impatient. Rear Window. Let me take a look, because if I put it in my history, odds are I'll see it, see if it's free. Rear Window, no. And I'm very, very cheap. I don't, oh, this is a remake. Whoa. Yeah, so that would be one I can't see. Okay, it's 2 outs now. And Bill Voss, the batter. This is a clutch situation. You saw it free on YouTube, the original? Okay, I just looked. I only see buy or rent. Oh, here it is. This looks like, let me see if this is the one. As Bill Voss steps up to the plate. This is oh God, that's some guy narrating it. No. Here's another. Notorious is available. I can't find it for free. Okay, Voss at the plate. A clutch situation. Pitch from Coleman. 4-3, left-handed, grounds it to third X. McMullen, 322. 6-3, that's an E22 roll. Seven, it's an error, a one-base error by McMullen. 2 errors in the inning, but Peters goes to third and holds. So it's first and third, 1 out, and it's up to Pete Ward in a clutch situation here. Is that right, Joel? Interesting. Okay, Pete Ward. The pitch from Coleman. 6-7, left-handed, grounds it to second X. Can they make another error? Coggins, 341. 23, throws him out, and that retires the side. So White Sox come up empty-handed again, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, but both are left on. And we've gone 5. 2-0 Senators. It's Bodega Bay and Bodega. And did they say within the movie, do you recall where it was? Did they call it Bodega? Top of the 6th. Gary Peters. First endurance inning is the 7th. He allowed 2 in the first, and he's retired 8 in order. Sam Bowens to lead it off. Pitch to Bowens, 2-8, left-handed, struck him out. 4th strikeout for Peters. I remember it was a beautiful area. The Bay, I remember Tippi Hedren, that character, taking a boat with a bird in a cage, sort of to give the context there. Here's Frank Howard. And the pitch, 2-5, hit deep to left field. Back goes Tommy Davis, and it's gone. A home run for Frank Howard. And that makes it a 3-0 ball game. Second run batted in for Howard. Howard hit 44. He had a good hitting year for 68. 274, 44 home runs. It was a 2-5 left-handed. Yeah. For Howard, his 7th home run of the season. He's on quite a pace. At this rate, he's going to hit, I'm just estimating, 18 games, 7, oh goodness, something like 65 home runs, or he's on a pace to beat Ruth at this stage. And Maris. Here's Ken McMullen now. 3-0 Senators. And the pitch to McMullen, 2-6. Left-handed, walked him. Now Ron Hansen. McMullen on first. Pitch to Hansen. 6-11, right-handed, grounds it to short to force McMullen. 2 outs, and Hansen is on. Now Casanova. Here's Peters. Pitch to Casanova. 5-5, right-handed, struck him out, and that will retire the side. Another run, though, on the home run by Frank Howard, his 7th of the season. Bottom of the 6th, White Sox bring up Tommy Davis to lead it off, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Coleman looks in, he gets the sign, and the pitch to Davis. 4-3, right-handed, grounds it to third X. McMullen, 322. He's already made an error. 322, 12-3. It's an E22 roll. Maybe his second error of the ball game. No, he throws him out. Nice play by McMullen. 1 away. Now here's Tommy McCraw. McCraw popped to the catcher and singled. .37, right-handed, double 1-3. It's a base hit. Second hit for McCraw. And Dwayne Josephson is the batter. Here's Coleman. The pitch to Josephson. 1-5, grounds it to short. That'll be Hansen to Coggins at second, and then over to Epstein at first for the inning-ending double play. So we've gone 6 full innings, and it's 3-0 Washington. Both pitchers entering their first endurance inning. Gary Peters in probably his final inning. Mike Epstein leads it off. 6-8 left-handed, grounds it to second X. Cullen 330. 13-3. Throws him out, one away. Now here's Coggins. Coggins 0 for 2. Oh. There's the pitch, 2-5, left-handed, struck him out. 6th strikeout for Peters. And here's Joe Coleman, 0 for 2. 3-5, grounds it to short. And it's fielded by Aparicio. And it's a 1-2-3 for Peters. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th. Coleman throwing shutout baseball. Okay, here we go. Ken Berry leading it off. Six-seven, right-handed, grounder to second X. That's for Coggins, 341. 4-3, that goes through for a base hit. Berry is on. 1-15, 1-13, not being held. Here's Tim Cullen now. Pitch to Cullen. 6-10, right-handed, struck him out. And that's the second strikeout for Coleman. And now there'll be a hitter for Gary Peters. Peters went 7. He allowed 3 runs, 5 hits. He walked 2, 3, struck out 6. Let's see who's coming in to hit here. Ken Boyer, Russ Snyder, Jerry McNertney, all pinch hits. Against Coleman, the right-hander. Ken Boyer looks good. Coming in to pitch will be Bob Pretty. Pretty has no record, 3 earned runs in 4 innings. Ken Boyers stepping into the batter's box. Trying to get something going here with Berry on first and 1 out. His last game played for the White Sox is May 2. And then there's some days off there, and then he's with LA. I think it's the Dodgers. I'm not certain, though, on May 10. That's a good point. But I'm going to go with Boyer, Joel. Unless you want me. You want me to let Peters stay in the game? Interesting comparison. I think Boyer is a better hitter. Okay, we'll stay with Boyer here. Here's the pitch from Coleman. 4-9 doesn't even matter. Base hit, though, up the middle. Berry goes to second, 1-15. I'm not sure I really even need to stretch him. 1-16. 1-14. We will not stretch him. And Coleman is 1 hit or walk away from fatigue. And there's action in the Senators' bullpen. First and second, 1 out. Aparicio, the batter, the tying run at the plate. Pitch from Coleman. 2-12. Single 1-3. Lines it to short. Caught by Hansen. 2 outs. And now it's up to Bill Voss. Voss hit 156. We're going to hit for Voss. We're going to go with Russ Snyder, who will stay in the game, left-handed hitter. Russ Snyder, almost 90 points better average. He will stay in the game in right field. So Snyder steps in. He pinch hit in this game in the real world. First on second, 2 outs, clutch situation. And he's got a reversal on his card. How do you like that? Here's the pitch to Snyder. 2 column, 2-4. Oh, grounds it to third. McMullen throws it to Epstein, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. We've gone 7. It's 3-0. And Coleman with partial fatigue. And we move to the 8th. Bob Pretty is the new pitcher. Bob Pretty. Yes, Demos, they are 1-12. On the verge of losing another one. I always put the record next to the team. 1-12, 10 games out. Here's Pretty now. Top of the 8th. Del Unser is the batter. .6-3 left-handed, flies to right X. Now that's Snyder. 3-2. 8-3. E2 roll for Russ Snyder. 7 makes the catch. Unser retired. Now here's Bowens. Pretty into his windup. The pitch to Bowens. 6-7 right-handed, grounds to second X. Cullen, 330. 13-3 throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Howard. Kathy Harden says maybe the manager, who was Eddie Stanky, by the way. I think it's Eddie Stanky. Yeah, Eddie Stanky should take them out, loosen them up. Take them out for some Chicago-style hot dogs. Boy, that sounds good. Here's the pitch to Howard. 2-8. Ballpark blast. Hit deep to left. And back goes Tommy Davis at the warning track to make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning. He almost did it again. And we move to the bottom of the 8th. That makes me very hungry. I could eat one of those or 2 of those. I think they put tomatoes on them, though, don't they? I would hold the tomatoes. Okay, here's Coleman with partial fatigue, pitching the bottom of the 8th. Pete Ward leads it off for Chicago. .35 walked him. One more hit or walk, and Coleman is fatigued. Tommy Davis, the batter. Pitch to Davis. 2-7 right-handed, grounds it to short, double play. It's been that kind of game. It's been that kind of year for the White Sox. Now Tommy McCraw, 2 outs, no one on. 4-2 left-handed, walked him. And that's it for Coleman. Coleman has reached fatigue. They're pulling him. They may not have done so in real world, given just a couple walks, but they're not taking any chances here. Coleman went 7 2/3 innings. Six hits, still a shutout. He walked 2 both this inning, struck out 2, has not allowed any runs, responsible for McCraw on first 2 outs. And let's see who's coming in. Moore, Higgins, Baldwin, and Humphreys. I'm sorry, Locker, Wood, and... I'm sorry, Moore, Higgins, Baldwin, and Humphreys pitched in Real World. Baldwin has pitched only 3 innings, but he only had 42, but we'll bring him in. Dave Baldwin will come in. Baldwin, no record, no runs in 3 innings. Whoops. A -4 quotient. Yeah, Demos, if you could tell me that, if you go do that, are you serious? But if you're serious, let me know which game it was, will you? You could let me know the date or something. Only if you're serious. Okay, Baldwin is ready, and it's going to be Dwayne Josephson to lead it off. To come to the plate with 2 outs and McCraw on first. Whoa, 1-19. 1-14. Borderline. Being held. Here's Josephson now. Matzo ball soup, you bet, Julio. With noodles. And even pieces of chicken. Small pieces of chicken in it. Here's the pitch to Dwayne Josephson. 2-6, single 1-4, lines it to third, and the side is retired. So it's a combined shutout between Coleman and Baldwin. We're heading to the 9th. Here's Bob Pretty. That's the way my mother used to do it. She used to have all sorts of different types of noodles with matzo, big matzo ball and little pieces of chicken. And then we had soup nuts. You could use either farfel, which is broken up matzah, or soup nuts. Let those soup nuts soak. Just delicious. Top of the 9th. Pretty in his 2nd inning. Here's McMullen. .411 right-handed ballpark blast. 1-5. McMullen, does he have the power? Yes, he does. It's gone. And McMullen hits a home run off Bob Pretty to make it 4-0. Look at it again, 4-11. Ballpark blast, and against right-handers he has in power, and it was a 1 on the 1 to 5 chance. He had 20 real world. Second home run of the season for McMullen. Goodness. Here's Ron Hansen now. 4-0 White Sox. Senators over the White Sox. Pitch to Hansen, 5-9 right-handed. That's an end home run. 1 to 18, and it's gone. Back-to-back home runs. Ron Hansen with the home run. 5-9 right-handed and home run, 1 to 18, and he's got the power. Hansen with his 4th home run of the year. Five nothing. They're keeping pretty in. Here's Casanova. .58 right-handed, flies it to center, 1 out. That's not pretty at all. I don't think the hot dogs will cure this. I could think of some things to do, but I don't know. Epstein, 6'10", left-handed. Flies to right, 2 outs. And Frank Coggins, 0 for 3. Pretty into his windup. Pitch to Coggins, 6'3", switch hitter batting left, flies to right X. Snyder, I'm sorry. Where is Snyder? Oh, here he is. A 3-E2. 5-3, he's going to get that. No, it's a base hit. Lord. And we'll let Baldwin hit. He's a 1 WR. We don't want to rock the boat here by bringing someone else in. So Baldwin comes up, a 1 WR with 2 outs and Coggins on first. That's 6-5. Right-handed, grounds to short X. A lot of X's today. Aparicio, 221. 6-2. Throws him out. And the side is retired. 2 runs, though, on back-to-back home runs. First by McMullen, then Hansen. We're heading to the bottom of the 9th. It's 5-0, a combined shutout that Baldwin will try to preserve. It's going to be Berry, Cullen, and a pinch hitter. Here's Berry leading it off. 6'2", right-handed, walked him. Now Tim Cullen, the batter. Six, right-handed, single 1-4, grounds to third, forcing Berry. It's 1 out, Cullen on first, and there'll be a hitter here for Pretty. Well, I don't know when Melton started playing, but I'm going to go with Bill Melton, right-handed hitter. Wow, you're quick, Demos. April 13. I wonder when the season started. So it was against the Tigers, the real world champs. Okay, here's Melton coming in to hit. Boy, you're quick. And after this game, I'm gonna go lie down and watch some Medical Center. Watch the end of that episode. They won 15-5. Holy cow. Okay, here's Baldwin now. Pitch to Melton. Game 25. 4-7, right-handed. Struck him out. And it's all up to Luis Aparicio. They've lost 10 in a row. So I guess the 13, they were, if they've lost 10 in a row, they were 1-2 at one point. No clue. They beat up Joe Sparma. Okay. Here's the pitch to Aparicio from Baldwin. 3-6. Double 1-3. It's a base hit. Going to third is Cullen. Now Baldwin at risk for losing the shutout. Now he's in his second endurance inning after with that base hit. And Russ Snyder comes up to the plate. Aparicio on first, Cullen on third. 2 outs. The pitch to Snyder. 2-6, right-handed. That's a shot hit out into left, going back. Big man Howard at the wall makes the catch, and the game is over, and it's a combined shutout. The final 5-0. The win goes to Coleman. Baldwin pitched 1 1/3. The loss goes to Peters. Coleman now 2-1. Peters 1-2. It was Washington, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Chicago, no runs, 7 hits, and no errors. We'll get them next time. Senators improved to 9-9. They're playing pretty good baseball. Now 4.5 behind the first place Minnesota Twins. White Sox fall to 1-13 with 11 straight losses. 10.5 games behind first place on the last day of April. Thank you, Mike Terranova, as always, for you being here and the like. Thank you to Rick DeBar. Thank you for Kathy Harden, and in particular to Kathy Harden. Thank you for the new icon. Julio, appreciate it. Baseball Demos, thank you for your presence and looking that up. Joel Horlin, as always, great to have you. Don't want to miss anybody here. Nathan, great to see you. And everybody else in the Strat-O-Matic network. And they've lost 11 straight demos. I will watch Medical Center. I have them as losing 10 in a row. I don't know what you mean by 12 straight. I will put this in the books later. This is arguably the worst start and the worst losing streak. I don't know about losing streak, but I think I've had a team lose 10 in a row, 11 in a row, maybe. But this is the worst start of a team. Ever. Yeah, I'm going to watch a Medical Center. Oh, they were 1-1. So you're saying they've lost 12 in a row now? Did I screw that up? Because that's possible. And I'll correct it. Okay. The good news is it doesn't change much, you know, but I'm opening up the standings. Your research is worthwhile. So we'll call this 12 in a row now. They were 1-1, you know, sometimes I could do that. So thank you, Demos. And to everybody else, stay strong, stay well. I'm not sure I'm up for another game. I think I'm going to try to keep myself occupied, but yesterday was a lot. I think 2 games is plenty on any day. Stay strong, stay well. Okay, then they beat Detroit, and then they lost 11 in a row. Yeah. We got it. We've changed it on the standings also. So this is the 12th consecutive loss for the White Sox. Take care, everybody. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Joel. Some good research there by Demos.